How is it going, everyone? With my WWE NXT September 18th, 2019 review. Of course, NXT aired live for the very first time on the USA Network as well as the WWE Network. If you're wondering how that worked out, the first hour of NXT aired live on the USA Network, and of course the second hour aired live on the WWE Network. If you're wondering why they did that, I guess USA is still airing their Suits show for this week and next week, so because of that, it airs on Wednesdays at 9. They couldn't air the second hour of NXT, so they did a split where it was on USA Network, then of course it was on the WWE Network. So with that being said, the actual full 2-hour NXT episode on the USA Network actually doesn't air until October 2nd, which conveniently enough is the day AEW airs on TNT for the first time. So, I mean, say what you will about that one, but considering this was still the very first live edition of NXT, I thought I'd go ahead and make a video giving my thoughts and reviewing it, and giving my thoughts on the future of NXT being live too as well. So that's pretty much why I'm making this video. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it, and without wasting more time, I'm going to jump right into the video with my overall thoughts on this week's edition of NXT. I thought it was a very fun show from start to finish. I thought the 2 hours flew by just like that. There was some great stuff on it. Even the filler stuff I thought had a purpose, and there's some of the matches weren't the best because they were just like a minute long, but besides that, I thought it was a fun show. One thing I thought I was kind of missing was an in-ring promo. I feel like I could have at least done one in-ring promo from somebody, but again, this was a show trying to garner interest, trying to get new eyes, and I feel like in terms of getting new eyes, they definitely could have accomplished it because, like I said, I thought it was a lot of fun. Definitely looking forward to NXT in the future because if this show did one thing that Raw and SmackDown have not done for me in years, it is make me want to tune in to next week. The ending to this show got me excited to see what happens next week because I want to see the follow-up. I want to know what happens next. Something Raw and SmackDown haven't done in a while. Usually when Raw and SmackDown ends, I'm like, okay, that's it for this week until next week. But no, NXT tonight, such a fun show, especially the way it ended, like I said, made me want to tune in next week. It got me excited. It got my interest. Makes me wondering what's going to happen next week. So kudos to NXT, like I said, for the first edition on the USA Network as well. I mean, they had that little, hour, I think it was back in December, where they had that NXT episode air on the USA Network, part of WWE Week or whatever. But in terms of being the first official live episode on the USA Network, I thought it was very fun. Definitely was a great way to start off, and I feel like if they keep this momentum on NXT, they definitely have the edge over AEW already. And I know AEW hasn't aired yet, so it's really kind of unfair to kind of say that NXT has the edge. But like I said, to keep this momentum going, I can see them doing very, very well on Wednesday nights. And you know what? Wednesday nights is going to be one hell of a night for wrestling now, because if NXT is this good and we have AEW to put on top of that as well, man, we're in for some good times and some good wrestling. So it's a good time to be a fan, and I'm very excited for the future of wrestling, especially on Wednesday nights. So NXT tonight, like I said, I thought it was a very fun show. Definitely was a great way to debut on the USA Network. Of course, to open the show, which of course this is the USA Network portion of the show, we had a Triple H promo. It wasn't really a promo, it was more of an introduction, like the NXT TakeOver Brooklyn introduction he did, where it was all dark and then he revealed the crowd. He kind of did that, but he did that from the backstage area going to the crowd. So just the way he did that, I thought was very great. Or very good the way he did it. I thought it was a nice touch. Good way to introduce NXT. And which led into the opening match, which was the #1 Contenders Fatal 4-Way match for the NXT Women's Championship. Of course, competitors being Io Shirai, Mia Yim, Bianca Belair, and of course Candice LeRae. This was a great opening match here. 10-minute sprint from all 4 women. They definitely worked hard, and it was a lot of fun. They had some good sequences, some great spots. Right from the get-go, Candice attacks Io. There's a nice spot where Bianca Belair Irish whipped Io into a 619, I believe, to Candice, I believe it was. I'm not really too sure if it was her or Mia Yim, but I thought that was a great spot from that one. And then Mia Yim did a nice dive on the outside to take out Bianca Belair as well as Candice LeRae. Candice LeRae did a face buster onto Io Shirai onto the apron, which I thought came off very good. Bianca Belair hit a double spear at one point. Actually, this was more towards the end of the match. Which came off pretty good. She's very impressive with her strengths, and definitely showed in this match as well. And speaking of this match, since it's 4 women, you can't have a match with more than 3 people without your infamous Tower of Doom spot. So of course we had that spot in the match. And then Io Shirai towards the end looked like she was securing the victory. Hit the moonsault onto Candice LeRae, but Mia Yim broke it up. Io Shirai got sent to the outside, took out Bianca Belair. Mia Yim tried to put away Candice LeRae. Candice LeRae ends up hitting a reverse Rana, I believe, off the second rope, followed by a lion salt for the 1, 2, 3. So Candice LeRae defeats Mia Yim, or pins Mia Yim, I should say, to become the #1 contender for the NXT Women's Championship, and will face Shayna Baszler. They did announce the date for the match. Will be at the October 2nd edition of NXT, of course, the edition where they go head-to-head with AEW and TNT for the NXT Women's Championship. So Shayna Baszler defending against Candice LeRae. Very excited for that one. I'm not betting on a title change, but it would be nice. I think Candice would be a great champion. And yeah, I think it was the right decision for Candice to become #1 contender. Whether or not EO interferes, you know, in the match, thus bringing you know, Shayna into the feud, making it a three-way feud, I don't know. But I just know, you know, Shayna and Candice hopefully delivers on October 2nd, and I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, definitely was a great opening match. Like I said, it was a sprint, and it was a good time. The crowd was really into it, and I thought it was definitely a fun way to kick off the show. From there, we go to a video package of that Djokovic. I apologize if I mispronounced his name. I don't really watch NXT weekly, so it's hard to, you know, get used to saying these type of names so I don't hear it. I'm used to calling him Donovan Dijak, so Dominic Dijakovic, or whatever his name is now, how you pronounce it. I'm still not used to calling him that, even though he's had the name for a while. I don't hear that name weekly, so it's hard for me to remember how to pronounce it if I don't hear it. But they had a video package of them and Keith Lee recapping their feud, which they did announce a match for next week, so seeing those two next week is definitely be a lot of fun. They had a great match in NXT a couple weeks ago, and I'm very excited to see him on live TV, so that's definitely going to be one to tune in for. Then, of course, we had the former Trevor Lee, now being Cameron Grimes, taking on Sean Maluta. It was just a quick double foot stomp to the chest, 1, 2, 3, literally like 5-second match. That was it. Obviously, they see a lot of great things in Cameron Grimes, which I don't blame him. I've always been a huge fan of his since, you know, 2014. I started watching him, and his match with Roderick Strong PWG in 2015 is what made me believe this guy really has a lot of potential. And I'm very glad to see him make the ranks of NXT. Not really too fond of his gimmick, to say the least, but I think, you know, he has all the talent in the world, and I'm very interested to see where he goes in NXT. So Cameron Grimes wins a quick squash match, not really much to it. Then, of course, we had the final match of the USA Network Hour, which was the NXT North American Championship match. Of course, the Velveteen Dream defending against Roderick Strong. This was a great match here. You know, started off slow. You know, they were just feeling each other out, you know, doing the whole feeling each other out process. And then Roderick Strong just started beating the shit out of Velveteen Dream, working on his back. You know, he had a backbreaker onto the barricade on the outside, just hitting backbreakers on his knees to the outside. He was just working on Velveteen Dream's back. Velveteen Dream selling his ass off. He was able to hit a Dream DDT at one point for a small glimpse of hope, but Roderick Strong just continued to work on that back, so that was great. One spot I loved as well, where he hits the Gibson driver into the stronghold, and he just kept locking in that stronghold and just really wrenching it in to really fuck up the back of Velveteen Dream, which I thought was great about Roderick Strong. And Roderick Strong, you know, tied up on the ropes, and then the infamous, you know, elbows going back and forth, you know, hitting some elbows of Velveteen Dream. I just thought Roddy looked fantastic, and Dream was pretty much selling, and I thought, you know, for that purpose alone, it was great. And towards the end of the match, you know, it started, you know, a ref bump happened, then Roderick Strong had a huge running knee followed by End of Heartache, but Velveteen Dream kicked out, which I will admit, I did not like the fact that Velveteen Dream kicked out of End of Heartache, because to my knowledge, that has not been kicked out of yet in NXT. And the fact that he was, not the fact that he was the first person, but the fact that they did it like the way they did, I don't know. I just did not like it. I wasn't a fan of it. You know, they should have just been like a sick kick or something. It should have been a secondary finisher from Roddy, in which he kicked out of for that near fall. I mean, it made it for an incredible near fall, don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I just wasn't a fan of End of Heartache being kicked out of by Velveteen Dream, so whatever. So the match continues. Velveteen Dream's having a comeback, and you know, he signed up for the Purple Rainmaker on Roddy, but then of course Undisputed Era come out. Bobby and Kyle distract the referee. Cole hits a super kick on Velveteen Dream as he's going for the Purple Rainmaker, and then Roddy hits another End of Heartache for the 1, 2, 3, and Roderick Strong is your brand new NXT North American Champion. Very, very excited for that. Definitely should have happened back at TakeOver Toronto at SummerSlam weekend, but you know what? They definitely saved it for this time, and I'm very glad. Now, of course, now Undisputed Era now have all the championships in NXT. You know, of course, Adam Cole, NXT Champion. Roderick Strong, NXT North American Champion. Of course, Bobby Fish, Kyle Riley, the NXT Tag Team Champions. They are dripping in gold, just like Adam Cole predicted, and I couldn't be more excited for it. And yeah, I'm very happy for him, and definitely think it was the right decision. Great match, Velveteen Dream. I think could have been a little bit better, especially if it was a takeover match. But for what we got, I like the match, like the story they told. The psychology was great. You know, Roddy working on his back was fantastic, and Dream selling. I can't complain. I thought it was a great match, and definitely exciting title change as well. You know, especially me being a huge Roddy mark that I've been for the past 10 years. very, very happy to see that finally come to fruition. And yeah, that was great stuff. And of course, that, like I said, that was the last thing you saw on the USA Network airing of it. And of course, then we go to the WWE Network airing of it. Of course, the second hour, which opened up with Pete Dunne taking on Arturo. Which I'm thinking, okay, this will be a quick squash, but these two go out there and have a pretty damn good 5-6 minute match. Very, very competitive, very back and forth. Arturo, I was very impressed with him. I know he has like an MMA background and whatnot, but he was very impressive against Pete Dunne. Like, he was holding his own, and it was very equal. You know, it was very back and forth, and he was very impressive. So Arturo, I will definitely keep my eye on him. He was definitely very impressive. But Pete Dunne, like I said, is very back and forth. Pete Dunne, you know, hit his signature stuff like the X-Plex and end up, you know, submitting Arturo when he did the, you know, the finger snap, and he was holding his fingers, and Arturo just tapped out. So for the 5 minutes we got between both of them, like I said, it was very fun. It was very fast, and a lot better than it had any intention of being. So yeah, that was good stuff there. And then of course we had a video package for Dakota Kai announcing that she'll be returning to NXT next week. So she will be in action. Well, I'm not sure she'll be in action. I just know she's coming back. So excited to see Dakota Kai back. She's been out for I don't know how long now. It makes logical sense for her to feud Shayna Baszler because she technically is like the first person Shayna took out. So it'd be cool to see Dakota back in that NXT women's title picture scene. But yeah, it's definitely cool to see her back. Then of course we had Xia Li taking on Aliyah. Complete waste of time. Lee gets the win here. Aliyah just, I don't know. I know she's, you know, she's from YouTube. ChickKick21, shout out to her. But she just, she was selling her ass off in this match, but they just weren't clicking. And then Aliyah just, they were just, I don't know. There was like a big sloppy spot at one point, and it just looked absolutely terrible. So yeah, nothing much besides just a squash to make Lee look good. But like I said, Aliyah kind of fucked it up. No offense to her. I'm not trying to hate on her, but just they weren't clicking. It was both of them. They just weren't clicking. They weren't doing well. But yeah, that was kind of a waste of time if you ask me. Then originally we were supposed to have Kishida in action, but Imperium come out from NXT UK. They take out I don't remember what his name was. It was some fucking guy from the Performance Center, I think. I honestly, my mind's going blank in terms of what his name was. But Imperium beats him up. They pretty much said that the ring's sacred, that they need to bring respect back to it. Then Kushida comes out and says, you know what, this was my time, now you're interfering with my time, so fuck you guys. Well, he didn't say that, but pretty much what he implied. Runs in the ring, you know, attacks Imperium. Him and Walter go at it. So Kushida and Walter, that's a match that's going to happen, and I'm very excited for it. Probably on the October 2nd NXT, but yeah, I'm excited for that one. You know, considering they're both complete opposites. Walter is this huge guy and Kushida is this small guy. That's gonna be one hell of a match, and I'm definitely excited for that one once that airs. But yeah, I thought that was a good segment, followed by, you know, a good, you know, way to get people excited for a potential match between Walter and Kushida. And then of course we go to a huge surprise, which was a #1 contenders match for the WWE Cruiserweight Championship. Of course, Oney Lorcan taking on Lio Rush, who I believe we have not seen since WrestleMania. It's been a very long time since we've seen Lio Rush, and yeah, he took on Oney Lorcan, and they had one hell of a match right from the get-go. Oney Lorcan hitting a running uppercut, multiple of them, by the way, on Lio Rush, trying to put him away early, but Lio Rush kicks out of it. And I gotta give Lio Rush the dude's credit. You know, the dude's had a bad rep, you know, the last year in WWE, and he comes back after being gone for months, and he has a great performance. He gets himself over as a face, and he just looks great. It was hard not to cheer for him in this match. You know, I thought he was selling his knee greatly. You know, he's definitely was, you know, just playing a great face, I thought. And I definitely didn't think, you know, of that he'd be capable of, you know, delivering that in WWE. And he proved me wrong. And him and Oney Lorcan had a really good back and forth match. You know, Oney Lorcan was very dominant for the majority of it. Lio Rush got the comeback once he hit a springboard stunner off the bottom rope. Went for the frog splash, but Oney Lorcan got out of the way, landed on his knee, hurt his knee. Oney Lorcan would then work on his knee, you know, hit a power bomb into the half Boston Crab, really wrenching it in to work on that left knee of Lio Rush. That was great storytelling, and a great spot where they tease Lio Rush passing out from the pain, but then he rises himself, gets back up, which I thought was just like, again, fantastic storytelling with the knee, and you know, just for him being an underdog, you know, him teasing him passing out, thinking like, oh yeah, he passed out, he lost, but no, he still had life. So I thought that was great storytelling. Had his comeback against Oney Lorcan, and then he pissed Oney Lorcan off to the point where Oney Lorcan just grabbed his face and started smacking the shit out of him. You can tell he was pissed off. The intensity of Oney Lorcan in this match as well was just awesome. Loved every second of it. And you know, ending came with Lio Rush getting the upper hand and ended up hitting a frog splash onto Oney Lorcan for the 1, 2, 3 in Lio Rush is your #1 contender for the WWE Cruiserweight Championship. Definitely didn't see that happening. I thought, you know, Lio Rush was the guy that immediately was just going to lose to Oney Lorcan, and they're going to give Oney Lorcan another title shot. But no, to my surprise, you know, Lio Rush wins the match, and he's now going to face Drew Gulak at a future date for the WWE Cruiserweight Championship. Very surprised by that, like I said. But nonetheless, that was a great match. That was a lot of fun. Lio Rush definitely looked great in his comeback, and Oney Lorcan, the intensity and the aggression he showed, makes me wonder why the hell they don't do more with him, honestly. So, yeah, that was a very exciting match, and I had a lot of fun with that one, and it made me want to see Lio Rush in the future. Honestly, I never cared for Lio Rush, but now I want to see who's doing next. They got me invested in him, so kudos to WWE, or kudos to NXT for accomplishing that nonetheless. And then, of course, let's go to the main event, which was a street fight between Matt Riddle and Killian Dain, which didn't really go anywhere. They went at it for a little bit, they went backstage, went out into, like, the outside area, in which they, you know, brawled with Imperium, and then, like, Pete Dunne came out, the Street Profits, and the Forgotten Sons. Just all of a sudden, like, some random fucking people just got involved. Like, there really wasn't a purpose for anyone getting involved. They just all of a sudden all got involved. The huge brawl came up backstage, which led back in the ring. All of a sudden, the ring was filled up like it was the fucking Royal Rumble. And then, you know, everyone's just brawling, and the show went off the air just like that. No, you know, no nothing. No decision of the match ending. Just cut off at the big brawl. So, even though the brawl was awesome, it didn't make any sense to me, but it was fucking awesome. And it made me definitely, like I said, want to tune in the next week to see the follow-up of that brawl, especially considering the fact that, you know, Dain and Riddle never got to finish. They technically never even started the match, really. I mean, the match started, but they really didn't have a match. So I'm interested to see, I mean, well, they already announced, actually, for next week, it's going to be Killian Dain and Matt Riddle once again in a street fight, but this time, the winner will face Adam Cole for the NXT Championship. So they're having a rematch with stakes to it, which I do like, which will give them reason to want to maintain that match in the ring and, you know, try to actually beat each other. Not just, you know, beat the fuck out of each other, but actually pin someone or submit them in the ring. So I think that gives them more reason to want to maintain order. So I like that. I like that they had stakes to it. But yeah, like I said, it was an awesome brawl. I don't know why that happened, but I'm not complaining. I thought it came off great, and definitely was a great way to end a very fun edition of NXT. Like I said, I thought the 2 hours flew right by. There wasn't any point where I was like, this is boring, it's dragging. It felt like 2 hours. They just went by like that. And like I said, if NXT can carry this momentum, if NXT can have, you know, episodes like this every single week, they're going to do great for themselves, you know, on Wednesday nights going against AEW and TNT. I'm not even going to worry about them. So as of right now, like I said, I know AEW hasn't aired yet, so it's really kind of unfair to kind of compare the two, but AEW's got a lot to live up to in terms of competition with NXT. So it's a very exciting time to be a wrestling fan, especially on Wednesday nights. You know, Wednesday nights gonna be insane with AEW and NXT going head-to-head live. Obviously, you know, people are gonna have to choose. I'm not really sure how I'm gonna watch. I mean, obviously I end up watching both. I'll DVR one, watch the other one live, but I don't know. It's an exciting time, and I'm very excited for Wednesday nights come October 2nd going forward. So yeah, NXT debut on the USA Network live for the very first time. That was a great addition. Definitely was a great way to, you know, get people's attention and get people's eyes on the product. Yeah, I'm very excited for the future for NXT and WWE. So yeah, Wednesdays are going to be very, very fun for wrestling fans. And hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, please feel free to leave a like below. And of course, next time, I'll see you guys later. Thank you guys for watching the video.